I want to introduce everyone to Premium Shop Banana, the first official vendor of the Payday franchise. This is, big moves, big moves. This is the Fortnite mode for Payday. It's called Heist Escape, which is kind of strange in and of itself. Like, Heist Escape? I know we normally want to escape the heist we embark on, don't get me wrong, but the way that's worded makes it sound like we're already on a heist. Like, life is a permanent heist that we're just trying to escape. I'm not sure that's what they meant. Let's talk about this game. Hello everyone, by the way, this is Yelwonkk. I'm going to talk about this strange mode on the main Noli channel at some point. That's how passionate I am about what's going on here, because I think this is very transparently the first step, or one of the first steps, it's been happening in the background for a while, towards turning Payday into an IP that gets chucked at everything that moves, with total callous disregard for what it can do for the overall appearance of that intellectual property. Sometimes it works out well. In this case, I don't think it's doing anyone any favours. This game is an affront to Payday, it's an affront to roguelikes, and to make matters worse, I can't stop playing the bastard. I've got loads and loads of hours in this game for some reason. It is not a good game. There are some good, highly addictive elements, which is why I keep playing it, but fundamentally I think it is extremely flawed. And that's what this video is going to be about, and I'm also going to discuss why I think it's so frustrating as a Payday fan to see our IP used in this way, with, like I said, total disregard for the game it's trying to be part of the wider universe of, right? I think there's absolutely no respect for Payday here, and that might come down to the devs, that might come down to the dev cycle they had, that might just be what these Fortnite experiences are. A little bit of context here. I downloaded Fortnite to play this, not re-downloaded. I have never, in my 29 years, touched Fortnite, and I don't have any sort of like terrible animosity towards the game. I've just never really been that interested in battle royales or whatever it was before when it was Save the World. Anyway, Fortnite has somehow, despite its significance to the gaming landscape, it's passed me by. But there's a Payday thing in it, so of course I'm going to try it out. This was what it took for me to take that leap. I've done that. And honestly, I'm quite impressed by the framework which Fortnite offers. I think these sorts of games, I get why they work. But within that, I'm absolutely gutted by the way they've decided to go about this one. And that's without sort of inferring that there's no fun to be had here. And I think that's maybe even more frustrating. I could just turn around and say, nah, this is crap, don't touch it. What a total waste of everyone's time. I think I'd be much happier at the end of the day. But the fundamental problem with this game is how every single system is intrinsically tied to the premium currency, the V-Buck Fortnite currency. Everything you do can be sped up or straight up avoided through in-game purchases. In fact, some things are only purchasable through in-game store purchases, which I think is generally quite frowned upon these days, but I don't know. I realise with Roblox there's a different sort of world out there from the gaming landscape I know, and I think that's probably the same case with Fortnite. You can get away with more things here. Is that a good thing? No, not necessarily. The youth of today, they're getting ruined. But I don't want to be patronising, and I don't want to sound like a crazy gaming evangelist. But I do think some of this is absolute insanity, and Starbreeze and the higher-ups at Starbreeze, who are so excited to do more with the IP, and I don't blame them, because I think it has been wasted for a long time, need to be just a little bit more cognizant of what exactly they're doing with it, who they're sharing it with, and if they're going to do it with devs like these, I don't know enough about them, that Sigma Tycoon 2, whatever, it might have been an incredible Fortnite experience, I don't know. I'm not saying they need to vet them further, I'm saying there needs to be some greater level of control by Starbreeze, because the impression I get here, if I was a new player, someone coming from Fortnite, like, oh, this Payday IP, is, wow, if this is how they treat their IP, I have no interest in exploring it any further. And here I am going AFK for a bonus. This is all part of the cycle that this game absolutely experienced. I don't know whether I should really call it a game, because so much is reused and repurposed. It's sort of like a mod or a map. But so many things within it are about getting your playtime rewards, your daily login. It's all quick dopamine hits, and that's a huge part, from my perspective, of why I find myself someone with an incredibly addictive personality playing it over and over again. However, there's one One area I've drawn the line at, and that is spending my own money on this thing. I've not purchased any V-Bucks, but good lord, if you did, you could save an awful lot of the problems I have with it, but that means they're manufactured problems, right? Everything, every single one of these stores, I've got to walk you through them. Every one. I can just skip it by paying real money. See these quests, right? These are ways to earn 2 of the in-game currencies, both of which are absolutely fine, and they're actually really quite generous with how they reward you. Yeah, there's an incredibly steep curve, and sometimes the game feels like a clicker game, which I don't think is a good look, but these are fine. However, if I need to re-roll them, I have to pay V-Bucks. And that can be necessary, because to get 1,000 or 100 barrel kills, this just isn't being counted right now. So the only way I could ever get this quest fixed is by re-rolling it, which is going to cost me real money. And just for a little lesson on exchange rates here, I had no idea. With the most efficient pack, I guess it's probably more along the lines of like 30 pence, 50 cents in the US, but like it's 69 pence. It's $1. And that's just to re-roll a quest. Who's doing that? I don't get it. I understand V-Bucks can be earned in different ways. I don't think it just has to be purchased in the store. There's subscription packs and things. But it's total lunacy, right? And the use of the Payday assets, I mean, we'll get onto that in a minute, but this is just like concept art. Does that make it a Payday game? We've got concept art from Payday 3. This screenshot, which causes Mario in a top hat to go crazy. He hates this one. It's just awful. These are actually in-game assets or screenshots from this experience. I suppose that's fine. This is just syntax error. And that's not enough to make it a Payday game. Blokes sitting around in mass. Come on, man. I think it's just so disappointing. And you've got your overkill weapons. So that's a concept taken from Payday 3. It's not really a core Payday concept, but I get why they're doing it. And within the gameplay, it works fine. Some of these overkill weapons are good. You do double damage while they're active, and that can be a really powerful strategy at times. But what the hell is any of this? Like, as far as I know, these are just... What's a Mist Gauntlet? I don't remember Dallas pulling out the Mist Gauntlets. As far as I know, these are just assets, pre-made assets from other games, from Fortnite itself, just shoved in here. I have no idea what the, what the relevance is to Payday. That might just be what all these experiences are like. I don't know. I do not care to see. But from a Payday fan's perspective, coming and playing this for the first time, I do not understand what you're doing. In fact, that's exciting though, because I think that menu might be one of the only ones that doesn't have paid purchases. That's incredible. Looking at the weapons, so you have to purchase a category, right, to get access to them within the roguelike pool. It's a little bit weird. The roguelike elements are limited. The randomization from an enemy perspective is non-existent. There are 3 sort of heist sets to play through, and every single one of them plays the same every single time. Yes, as experiences, there's 3 separate ones, but there's no real replayability there except for the grind, except for the dopamine to earn more cash and get bigger multipliers, things like that. So that element of the roguelike formula has been completely missed. The randomness around weapons is fine, but because of how you individually level up your weapons, it results in a situation where you're basically just looking for the weapons you've got to like legendary or epic quality, because the rest are all crap otherwise. And it's not like... These weapons are fine. They're Fortnite weapons as far as I know. They feel pretty good. They handle well. No complaints necessarily with the weapons that are in our hands. But, A, there's no relevance really to Payday here, which is somewhat of an issue from my perspective. And B, there's no real reason to look for variety. The roguelike element that's supposed to be this randomness, each run feels different. It doesn't happen at all here in this particular Payday experience. You have to enable the category for heals. There are paid weapons. These are locked behind, again, V-Buck purchases. I don't know if they're good. Are they pay to win? Maybe. The Boom Bolt? They seem like cool weapons they've locked behind that. Just run the grenade launcher, guys. You can shoot around walls and it does stupid damage and you really don't have to engage with any of the gameplay. But again, it's something to spend your real money on that you can't earn within the game. And I know these experiences have to find a way to earn, But I find it so arbitrary what they choose to charge you for, you know? When you have games like, the easy comparison is Notoriety within Roblox. It was originally a Payday 2 clone, and it's very Payday 2. Like, it really is a Payday game. This isn't. Don't ever confuse that. But it had DLCs, which were effectively maps or weapons, proper unique individual weapons. These just seem to be assets that are locked behind a paywall. I can't fathom it. Power-ups also, these are essential, right? You need a damage multiplier to get anywhere in these runs. The damage scales unbelievably quickly. It's the only thing in terms of difficulty that really scales. Yes, enemies use different weapons and spawn in different numbers, and the layouts of the arenas you fight them in change. But what the hell was that? I'm just leveling up. I'm just leveling up passive. I don't even know what this level means. That's probably a Fortnite issue. I need to calm down. You need to get the cash boost multiplier, right? You need to just put all your points in there because that's how you're going to earn. One thing leads to another, and then you can prestige and reset it and just keep the grind going forever and ever and ever. There's no end game here. There's no reason to keep doing this. You might absolutely adore the loot, but really all you're doing is repeating the same experience over and over again. And for some people that might be enough. And if you're doing it completely free of charge, that's absolutely up to you. But again, my problem is how you're handling this license. Who are you giving it out to, and what are they then doing with it? And it gets more and more egregious with like these masks. This mask is 750 V-Bucks. That's going to cost me £6.64 for a digital mask, which is a copied asset from Payday 3 that gives some pretty pay-to-win bonuses, right? I can give you a side-by-side comparison. One of these masks... There we go. Pearl's mask, which is purchasable through gems, which is an in-game currency. 10% more damage at level 1. Laugh Riot, 15% more damage at level 1. Huh. That's curious, that, isn't it? And now, what I don't even know here is, if I spend this, do I get all of the levels at once? Or is it 750 V-Bucks per tier? If it is, I don't think I'm going to recover, but I'm never spending that money to find out, so someone else can do that test for me. I have Hoxton. Dude's good. I bought this with in-game gems. It's giving me regen, loads of shield regen, which you're going to need, because at first you're just going to basically be limited by passive damage you take, and you're not going to get past room 5. It is what it is. It's a massive hurdle to get over. Once you get over that, the roguelike mode does improve, but the fastest way to do it would just be to spend money. Please don't, but it would be. Then we have the crown shop. You can buy these weird little crowns, and again, the best ones, by a long shot, right, are locked behind V-Buck purchases. These are basically the same, except this one gives significantly more HP per second passively. Also, it's Teddy Moo. And they don't even have the pink one. I don't... And that brings me on to something else I need to say. Like, speaking to the developers here, are you guys fans of Payday? Was there excitement to have this license, or was this license just an opportunity to market your roguelike experience to a wider audience? Because from my perspective, there's absolutely no love for the Payday franchise that's gone in here. It's predominantly just asset reuse, stapled Unreal assets coming over, placed in Fortnite with pretty much no regard for how they function within the world, you know? It's baffling to me. Then we have the heists themselves. Harbour Heist, as presented by this random image from Boys in Blue. Bank Heist, that's the syntax error image again. They ran out! They ran out of images! His shopping spree, also known as Jewelry Heist. I can't fathom it. In terms of level, layout, and design, these are okay. But let me just hop into this real quick, and I can show you why, despite the fact I've spent way too much time playing this, why it's just so perplexing to me. And the Bank Heist, I think, from what I've played, it's the easy mode. It's the mode you should start with. It is probably the best. So this is the roguelite element. You roll a random weapon from your arsenal, so it has to be purchased. If you've not had it paid for, it won't appear here. You can re-roll using gems, kind of classic. As far as I know, that's infinite, though. But that's kind of classic roguelite stuff. I've just rolled my legendary. This pistol's pretty damn good, so it would carry me regardless. But the only reason I'm going to do loads of damage is because I've got the 4x multiplier. So That's making a big difference for me. By the way, I'm ass at Fortnite. I don't need to go very far, though, for you guys to see. You pick up gems, you loot items, that'll give you money. Getting kills does as well. But let me see if I can just draw their attention. Come on, ladies. So, here's the AI you're dealing with. One of them's just trying to get through the wall. Here's the AI we're dealing with. And now, not every room is as bad as the next, but effectively they can't seem to move through the room barriers, which results in a situation, I'll show you some gameplay of that now. It essentially results in a situation where you will be able to survive whatever's thrown your way, but they will have so much health, it's going to take you like 5 minutes per room to clear. For no good reason. It's just repetitive, standing behind some unbreakable cover and killing them. It's bad design. Now, you can be less cynical than I'm being here and sort of take it at face value, push in and get aggressive with them. And by the way, so you have to claim a weapon after every, or it could be an item, a healing option after every room. It could be C4, which does like no damage for some reason. You can blow up barrels, which does more damage. But look at them; they just get lost. So you can interact with the systems as much as you want, but the design on it is just abhorrent, such that you're encouraged to interact with it as little as possible. And I've just rolled into the grenade launcher, which yeah, it's pretty busted, man. Whoop! There goes 4 dudes. Oops. So there's also been absolutely no attention to detail as far as like, balance is concerned. Hang on, let me just show you how nasty this can get, how like uninteractive it is. Well, we got our overkill weapon, but I've found that 9 times out of 10, instead of actually using the overkill weapon that you drop, your best bet is just to double your damage, as I will here, and spam your grenades around corners, because they're doing double damage. Just you know, trying to blow yourself up. Oop. What a god gamer, man. But what I'm going to show you now is what my early experience of this were like, so you can see that juxtaposed side by side and see why at the time I was like, oh my god, this is tough as nails. What is going on with this design? It's so snowbally and so insidious in how it wants to encourage you just to play and play and play, or spend and spend and spend to avoid having to play. It really is one of those games that's pay to skip the grind, also known as pay to avoid having to play my poorly put together video game. And yet here I am, I'm still playing it. I'm horrendously addicted because the dopamine-inducing systems are making my dopamine receptors pop. It's not good. Don't touch it, guys. Don't touch it. But let me show you one of my least favorite features, which I have been told can be turned off. Hang on, I can also show you what the major drawback of just spamming the grenade launcher is real quick. So yeah, it does a lot of damage to everyone. It clears these rooms pretty easily. But if you hit yourself, you will not be long for this world. And as you can see then, by the immediate pop-up, the way I can come back to life, the only way as a solo player, is by spending V-Bucks. And it's on quite a tight timer, so if you're deep in the level, and you're going to do it, right? It's kind of like an arcade machine, but this is something that can be done from the comfort of your own home, and it doesn't have that sort of tangible... you don't feel like you're receiving a service for the quid you put in. It's horrible. Mobile games do this. Just the cheapest, most miserable mobile games. I know it can be turned off, but since you're not going to know about this, it will happen to you at least once, and you might give in to the temptation of it. And that's really bad. I don't think Payday should be associated with a video game that does this. So that's my take on it. I think I think Fortnite, as a... Can this get off my screen? I had a... It's just broken, man. It's just not very well made. I think Fortnite is actually a surprisingly good platform for this. They could do cool Payday things within Fortnite. That's not what this is. You could do cool Payday things within roguelites. That's not what this is. This is a health inflation-based video game where you're just trying to do damage. It's a numbers game. It's not really a skill-based game. The optimal way to play it, as far as I can tell, is to cheese everything, to not interact with it as intended. So yeah, best of both worlds with Payday, right? Payday could absolutely fit Fortnite, and it could fit the roguelike genre to a T. But this is an absolutely messed up first attempt. And I think Starbreeze needs to take a really, really hard look at who they work with in the future. And they need greater oversight. Because I don't think they should be allowing games with the Payday name and brand attached to them do this kind of scummy thing. Because they can be fantastic with Payday 3. They can give all the DLCs away for free. They can put everything on sale all the time. Be as consumer forward as they want. If they keep doing this with games with Payday in the name, that's the reputation that's going to stick with them. And that's the reputation I'm going to make sure it's saddled with. Because, frankly, it's still the same Payday, still the same studio that's earning from it at the end of the day. So I think they should have a really good hard look at this. Like I said, a proper formulated Noli video will come. This imposter Yelwonkk just had things to say. Guys, check out my 2.5 hour long DSOD playthrough on the main channel. I played every heist on Death Sentence. It gets quite embarrassing at times. You guys love that. Take care. Let me know what you think of this. I haven't seen people be quite as impassioned as I feel about it online, so maybe I'm in the minority here, but I feel like we've been through this ringer before and no lessons have been learned. Anyway, take care, have a great week, and I'll see you very soon.